Alright, what's up guys? The Power Up Mushroom here. And you know what? I'm super excited to even say this. I was a little bummed out about the way the Master Chiefs, the way it updated, the way the collection updated and all that. But it ended up working later on that day. I did record some footage, actually my first match. I'll probably post that up on YouTube soon. But this is a new news video that we got to talk about, because this is something that I think a lot of fans have been asking for. And I know mostly this channel, it is a retro channel, but I mean, I leave room for modern games, and no pun intended. I mean, this game is pretty modern. And you know, actually, now that I think about it, the more I think about it, this game, we're already hitting, it's 9 years old, man. I played this game 9 years ago. 9 years ago. And the one game that they just released for backwards compatibility on the Xbox 360, which many fans have been asking for, is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now I know that a lot of people will probably just immediately, in their minds, they're just thinking like, oh my god, another Call of Duty, like, you really got to be kidding me. Why are you excited about this? Like, look, there is a huge difference from the way Call of Duty was back then and to the way it is now. The way Call of Duty is now, it is very, very, very mainstream. I think that everyone, like just casual gamers, like if you think of Call of Duty, you think of it for casual gaming. It's real casual. Like, it's just you get in a couple matches, get back out, go to work or whatever. It's not something that you think of like team, like base. You don't think of it as a team-based shooter. It's just solo, go out there, get a couple kills, that's it, you know, live, die, repeat, you know, that type of stuff. And you know, I guess it took a little bit, but when I heard about it, I got super excited immediately. I called all my friends. I got a few of them. They pulled out their old copies. One of them, there was a couple of them, they actually had to go back and buy Call of Duty because they didn't know where it was. This is my original copy, by the way. And when we pop the game back in, right off the bat, guys, all your progress from the 360, it just transfers right over if you're still using the same Xbox account. And you know, it was really cool. I had 100% completion in the campaign and in Spec Ops. This was actually the first game where I got all my achievements, like 100%, did all the achievements. And then obviously you go to multiplayer, all your stuff is still there. And it was a real nostalgia hit from me and my friends, because we got on like at the same time. We saw our classes, and we got real. This was the game that, like, really most of my friends that I'm friends with today. This is one of those games right next to Halo 3 and some others. This was a part of it. This was one of those games that, like, you'd come home from school, you know, or it didn't matter. You'd stay up late. You know, you played Call of Duty. You know, to kind of get your mind off things. We got real competitive in this game too. This is one of those things where we were really, really competitive in Call of Duty, specifically Search and Destroy, because really Search and Destroy is the ultimate Call of Duty game, like playlist, because it's so strategic. You have to really communicate with your players. And the moment like we jumped into to Modern Warfare 2, all of us, when we got hit with that nostalgia with our classes and everything, we immediately thought back to like, oh, like this is what we would use this weapon for, and that there was a lot of like thinking involved in Call of Duty, much more so compared to the newer versions. And you know, immediately, like when you go into Call of Duty or Modern Warfare 2, you guys will kind of realize that, yo, it's, you know, right when you jump in, it'll say 0 players on a little playlist, but they don't update the numbers. There are definitely games going on when you start searching in whatever game mode. And as you can imagine, the Xbox 360 servers, like, we were having problems connecting to the online servers because people were logging in so much. Like, this is one of those things, like, just think of a game being dead for so long, and then just people just automatically, like, just hundreds of thousands, or not, I don't even know, hundreds of thousands, I'm gonna just say thousands to be safe, thousands of people just logging on just all at once to this game that's 9 years old, just to play this game. And sure enough, you jump in, there were some new recruits, there's people who never played the game before, and you could tell because people were like, in the very first few matches, people started running around like they would in regular Call of Duty games. And that is when I realized that there is a big generation gap between this Call of Duty and the newer ones, because people just ran. Like, they just ran around trying to solo stuff and everything. And me going in, playing with my friends, remembering what, like, the positions of the maps, where to go. You can't do that. You can't just run out there, and you can't just play this game like, oh, it's a casual game. No, there was a lot of strategic thinking involved, minus the noob tubes that would happen and stuff, because that was crazy. But and then, yeah, as we started playing, the more matches that started going, we started getting paired up with some people who knew what they were doing, people who were like 10 prestiges and stuff. And it was kind of like those games where, like, we just kind of remembered that, like, all the trash talking that would go on. It was a real nostalgia trip for this game. And definitely, I did stream some of it on Twitch, but most of it I didn't get to stream. I'm probably going to be streaming more this weekend. If you guys want to join me, I'll follow me on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description below, that way you guys can stay updated to when I'm going to stream this. But just letting you guys know that, yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is backwards compatible now. And the reason this is so important is because this is the Call of Duty that I do believe is the most balanced. Modern Warfare 3 was okay, but this is the last Call of Duty, really, that the original creators of Call of Duty, like the founders of Call of Duty, this was the last one where they had, like, all their say in it. This is the last one. Modern Warfare 3, believe it or not, the founders of Call of Duty were kicked out of the company in, like, during development for Modern Warfare 3. That is why a lot of the problems that happened in Modern Warfare 3, like the support classes, it started getting real mainstream. You could tell, like, it was going a little bit downhill, and it didn't feel the same afterwards. So definitely, I think Modern Warfare 3, it was also the first game. I think Sledgehammer jumped in on this one. Yeah, Sledgehammer did jump in on Modern Warfare 3 to, you know, help develop that. So that is the first time we saw Sledgehammer jump in or get their hands in on a Call of Duty game. But this is back when Infinity Ward had their crap together. They knew what they were doing. Say what you want about Infinite Warfare, I actually think it was actually one of the better Call of Duty games, but nowhere compared to this. The maps, the weapons, believe it or not, the weapons actually, everything feels so balanced. It just feels like if you're not good at the game, get good. Like, you need to do better, or you need to figure out a way, figure out your class, you need to figure out your strategy. It's just, that's how it is. Now it's just kind of like I said, it's a pick up and shoot type of game. But when you really jump into this game, I definitely think that there's a lot more to this game than meets the eye. And like I said, this is probably when this is the big one. This is where it really hit big for a lot of people to just jump in on Call of Duty. But it is one that really balanced things out. And in the future, I am going to be doing a review on this, because I think it would be very important to kind of see how well this game holds up today. And it's definitely a lot slower pace than the newer Call of Duties, which I like a lot. So definitely, if you guys have never played Modern Warfare 2, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, pick it up. This is the best time to pick up Modern Warfare 2 and give it a shot. And if you guys worry about, oh, well, the graphics, they're not that great. No, look, the graphics, they are way ahead of its time. This is 2009, people. 2009. This was a year before Halo Reach. The graphics hold up so well. Not to mention, with the Xbox One, like, they enhanced the graphics quite a bit. Like, it looks more high def than it did on the 360. You can definitely tell that there's a clarity, sense of clarity to the game compared to when it was released back then. Because back then you could have still been playing on your, like, tube televisions and all that stuff. People barely had flat screens. So definitely, if you guys haven't, go ahead, give Modern Warfare 2 a shot. Despite what people would say about, like, Call of Duty being so mainstream and like so modern, definitely take it from me, guys. This is a recommendation. If you want to try a first-person shooter, this is the one. This is the one that you need to get into and give it a shot, especially the campaign. The campaign is really good. So definitely, guys, if you guys want to know more or, like, hear more about my thoughts, I will be doing a review of this eventually. I'm actually going to put out some reviews to the side that I could review this and then review the Master Chief Collection. And if you want, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, and I'll keep you guys updated to when I'm going to be streaming. Definitely this weekend, I'm getting the old group together, like my my original friends, my original group of friends, we're all getting together and we're gonna hop on this. Maybe do some Halo, but definitely this is the one where we sent it in the group chat, or I sent it to them in the group chat, and a few of them, they couldn't believe it. So we're definitely gonna be hopping on this weekend, and you guys can kind of see like what we used to do. And what it was like. I'll probably tell stories or something, who knows. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, upvote if you're not watching on Vidme, because that does not exist. But anyways, remember, when you guys are gaming, power up.